students, let's start today's lecture. Lecture number 7. It is about networks and telecommunications. Today we are going to consider a network and the history of the Internet. Next part of today's lecture is devoted to considering email, DNS, URL, and www concepts. Then we will consider types of networks. At the end of our today's lecture, we will consider networking devices. First, let's start with the concept of network. A network is a group of two or more computer systems linked together. Suppose you have a personal computer and laptop at home. You can connect these computers to the network, and it allows sharing information, data, as well as sharing computer devices like printer or scanner. It means that there is no need to buy a new printer or scanner for your laptop. You can use these computer devices in a shared form. As well as it's possible to connect several computers from one building like offices or companies and so on. The Internet is the largest network. It connects millions and sometimes billions of computers from all parts of the world. The term Internet is a short form of the expression interconnecting network. The Internet allows sharing information, data, and other resources with people from different parts of the world, as well as communicating with them. The network can be categorized into wired and wireless types. In a wired type, computer devices are connected with cables. Compared to wired network, in case of wireless network, computer devices are connected through radio waves instead of using any cables. The most common types of wireless networks are Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Let's say some words about the history of the Internet. The history of the Internet is closely connected with the project called ARPANET, which was created by the United States Department of Defense in 1969. The initial purpose of the project was the usage of the net by military personnel in emergency situations. It became widely accessible to the public only in the 1990s. Before that time, ARPANET was kept in secret and only military personnel could afford it. But nowadays, Internet is accessible for all of us. In 1969, Charles Klein made an attempt to send a message from one computer to another computer, which are located in different cities, in Los Angeles and Stanford. The distance between these cities is 640 kilometers. The first message sent over the network was login, but Charles Klein at first could send only two letters of the word, L and O. Then the system crashed. Later, after recovering the system, he could send the whole world. In this year, in December, 4 computers were connected to the ARPANET. And in 1973, the ARPANET became international. It was joined by the United Kingdom and Norway. Electronic mail, or in short email, is one of the popular services of the Internet. It was developed by Ray Tomlinson in 1971. It was the first program for sending electronic mail over the Internet. There is given a mail account which consists of username or login name and host name or provider name. Here, login name and host name are separated by @sign. Why did Ray Tomlinson offer to use @sign to separate login name and host name? He explains this with the fact that @sign was rarely used at that time, so he decided to make it popular. And now there is no doubt that the symbol is popular and used by all of us when we deal with electronic mail. Nowadays there are a lot of providers which offer to deal with email, and some of them are given on these slides. Another interesting question, how computers communicate on the Internet. It is known that the Internet connects millions and billions of computers from all parts of the world, and how these computers do understand each other, how they communicate with each other. It is implemented due to a protocol. Here, protocol is a set of rules for efficiently transmitting data from one network to another. So all computers connected to the network have the same protocol, have the same set of rules which they follow. That is why they can communicate with each other without any problems. Since 1983, all computers connected to the network have been communicating with usage of Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, abbreviated as TCP/IP. Each computer on the network has its own IP address. It is unique for each computer. It means that IP address of the one computer cannot be repeated for another computer. IP address can be represented in a decimal dotted format. It consists of 4 decimal numbers which are separated by dots or periods. Web browsers interact through IP addresses, and it is inconvenient for people, for users, to memorize IP addresses. And solution for this problem is the usage of domain name system, abbreviated as DNS. It was developed in 1984. Domain name system serves to translate IP addresses into domain name. So for us it is convenient to deal with domain name instead of IP address. Another important concept which is related to today's chapter is Uniform Resource Locator, or in short URL. It is a string that provides the information, location, or complete internet address of a web page. In other words, URL is the web page's internet address. URL consists of 3 parts. First part is called protocol, here HTTP. It stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Next part is called domain name, Microsoft.com, and the third part is called path. Tim Berners-Lee is one of the famous scientists in the field of computer science. He is the owner of Turing Award, which is the highest award in the field of IT. When he was 30 years old, in 1989, he created the first web page, and it has domain name info.cern.ch and looked like this. Many people confuse when they ask, are the World Wide Web and Internet the same? Some people say that yes, they are the same, they can be used interchangeably, they are synonyms. At the same time, another part of people think that they are different, they cannot be used interchangeably. So remember that the Internet and the World Wide Web are not the same, they have differences. First of all, Internet is a collection of interconnected computers, as we know, and the World Wide Web is a collection of web pages connected through hyperlinks or URLs. Also, we can differentiate them by history facts. We know that the Internet was developed in 1969 and the www was invented 20 years later in 1989 by Tim Berners-Lee. The Internet is hardware-based while www is software-based, and the www is considered to be one of the services of the Internet. That is why it is dependent on the Internet. On this slide there are given basic types of network: local area network, metropolitan area network, and the wide area network. Also other types of networks available. The current slide represents these types of networks. First, local area network connects computers from one building, for example, school, home, or hospital. Metropolitan area network connects city networks, and the wide area network has larger scope than the previous two ones. It connects computers from different countries. It is also important to say about networking devices which are used to connect computers to the network. First networking device is a hub. Hub is used to connect multiple network hosts and exchange data within a local area network. It has multiple ports. It means that multiple computers can be connected to the network. One of the essential features of the hub that it can't filter data. For example, this computer sends information to this computer. When information comes to the hub makes a copy of that information and sends that information to all computers connected to the network. So hub can't provide data security. As well as when it makes a copy of that information, it decreases data transfer speed and wastes time. That is why nowadays hubs are rarely used. They are replaced by switches. Switch is another networking device which is used to connect multiple network hosts and exchange data within a local area network. It looks like a hub, but the difference is that switch is more intelligent than a hub. It can filter data. For example, when this computer sends information to this computer, when the information comes to the switch, it filters data and sends that information to the addressed computer. It is implemented due to the ability of switch to store MAC address or physical address of devices. So switch has faster speed than hub, and it provides data security. Router is a networking device which is responsible for routing traffic from one to another network based on their IP addresses. In other words, router is used to connect different networks. A modem is a networking device which modulates and demodulates a digital signal into an analog signal and vice versa. A modem can be cable or DSL type. And the last networking device is a repeater. It is an electronic device that amplifies the signal it receives. In other words, it makes it stronger. This slide represents the usage of these networking devices. Switch is used to connect multiple computer devices, and nowadays routers and modems come together with one device. They are used to connect local area network with other networks like the internet. So today's lecture is over. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.